Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. If you're new, what is up? My name is Nicole. Thank you for joining me. In today's video, we're going to be doing a makeup tutorial. I'm attempting to do like some sort of brown, smoky eye type of moment. Haven't really done one before and yeah, I just want to give it a go. So yeah, I'm going to show you how I get ready on camera. Again, I don't know how it's going to go because I've never really done it before, but we're going to test it out, try out some different products and we're going to see. So yeah. Anyways, if you guys are interested and you want to see me transform, then continue to watch. But before we do that, make sure you like, comment, share and subscribe and click that bell so every time I upload a video you guys will be notified. But yeah, let's just jump right into the video. Okay, so to start off first, you guys know I always show you my skincare. I'm going to start off by taking my L'Oreal Hydrogenous Aloe Water, and I'm just going to take about 2 pumps of this and I'm just going to apply it all over my face. Next, I'm going to take this Under Eye Cream by ESTÄE Lauder. This is their Ultimate Eye Correcting Cream, and I'm just going to place this under my eyes. This year I'm turning 23, and so I'm really just trying to do everything I can to prevent wrinkles, to prevent crow's feet, you know, just all of those wrinkles that you get when you get older. So I'm really just trying to invest in my time, invest in my products, invest in my skin, so that I can preserve it and have it looking as young as possible for as long as possible. So yeah, I've started putting under eye cream, and ever since I've been doing this, I've noticed that my concealer looks so much better and it just sets beautifully because my under eyes are not dry. So if you suffer with dry under eyes, try an under eye cream before you put anything on it. Okay, so next I'm going to take my Fenty Beauty Soft Silk Pro Filter Primer, and I'm just going to take about 1.5 pumps of this. And I'm just going to place this all over my face, mainly focusing down here. I don't really put a lot of products on my forehead because my forehead doesn't really need it, but yeah, I just try to apply it here. I'm going to take the Revolution Glow Fix Illuminating Fixing Spray, and I'm just going to go ahead and spritz this on my face, just to kind of help hydrate it so that I guess my foundation can glide on a lot smoother. I don't really know how this works, but we're going to try it out. We're going to try out a couple of TikTok hacks, so yeah. And last week I got my eyebrows microbladed, so I'm really happy about that. This side is definitely healing. I did notice that I guess I lost some strokes through, but for the most part, these are what my eyebrows look like, so I'm really happy about it. I have a shape that suits me very well. So I'm going to take my Benefit Brow, and I'm just going to go ahead and use this to fill in my brows. I'm not going to fill them in too much because they are basically, you know, already kind of filled in from my microblading. So I don't really need to do a lot to them, and I already have my shape, so you know, I don't really need to do much. And there we have it. Those are my eyebrows. I love them. I love the shape. I love the thickness. Oh, I'm so excited, and I can't wait for my touch-up appointment. Okay, so to conceal my brows now, you guys know I don't really do the whole shebang full-on concealer like I used to, but to give it a little bit of a lift, I'm gonna go ahead and take my NARS Radiant Creamy Concealer, and I'm just going to place a little bit of this on my eyelids and just beneath the brow. This is just going to help sculpt it from underneath to give it a bit of a lift, and it's going to help prime my eyelids at the same time. Okay, so to set my eyes to make sure that they don't crease, I'm just going to go ahead and take my MAC Prep and Prime Transparent Powder, and I'm going to use just a little bit of this, not that much, just a little bit, and I'm going to set my eyelids. Place a little bit on the brush, swirl it around in the cap. I'm going to set this whole area. And I'm just going to set my eyebrows with them so that they're not shiny, and you know, so that they just don't look greasy and stuff like that, because I hate greasy eyebrows. I can't stand it. Okay, so moving on to eyeshadow, I'm going to take my Morphe 25D palette, I love this palette because it's just got browns, neutrals, all the transition shades that you could ever need is in this palette. So I'm going to take this palette and I'm going to take a fluffy brush and I'm just going to put like a brown in my crease. I think my first colour I'm going to place down is Maddox, which is this one right here. So I'm just going to take a bit of this and I'm going to place her in my crease. Now these shadows are like really pigmented. I'm going to see if I can try to zoom you in. Like so. I hope I'm in focus. But I'm just going to kind of just place her in my crease as a transition colour. Just like that. So not much. So next I'm going to go in with the colour Chris, which is this one right here, and I'm just going to go on top of it and slightly above it as well, just to build up some of that depth and dimension. Focusing it mainly on the outer part of my eye, building it up slowly at a time. I'm now going to go ahead and take the shade Daniel. So this is a deeper, darker chocolate colour. It's got some kind of like reddish tones in it. It's beautiful. And I'm just going to use this just to darken everything, just a little bit. So I could have just gone in with this colour first and just applied it, but I really want to build up the browns to give it more of that like smoky finish. And so, you know, that way you can't necessarily tell where everything starts and ends because it all blends in together really nicely. Just like that. So I don't know if you guys can see, but this already looks darker than this side. Next, I'm going to go back in with that same colour that we used in the beginning, Maddox, and I'm just going to kind of go on top of everything just to further smooth and blend it out. I'm just going to go in here a little bit as well so that I can kind of help to define the nose and snatch it in just a tad bit more. Just like that. I love it. I love it. Now for my lid colour, I'm going to take the shade, I'm going to take the shade Kai, which is this one right here. I'm going to take Kai and I'm going to place her all over the lid, just like so. There we have it. That is it for this look, or this eye look. We'll come back to it at the end to add like lashes, and I might do liner. I'm not really sure because whenever I do liner my eyes water a lot because I have really sensitive eyes, so I'm not really sure if I'm going to do wing liner just yet, but yeah, we're going to stop it for now and then we'll come back to it. Okay, so moving back to the skin, I'm going to take the NYX Can't Stop Won't Stop full coverage foundation, I forgot what it was called for a second, in this shade Caramel, and I'm just going to do a few pumps, not much. I don't really like wearing a lot of foundation because I'm going to do a lot with like concealer and bronzing, so wearing a lot of foundation just isn't really the thing for me. I don't know. Now I'm going to take a Morphe brush and I'm just going to blend it out. And I'm really going to work it and buff it into the skin. Next, I'm going to go in with my Too Faced Born This Way Multi-Use Sculpting Concealer, and this is in the shade Cookie. If you guys don't know by now, this is like my favourite concealer. I'm literally running out as well. I've had this for almost a year now. Almost a year, and she served me well. She's given me coverage. She's just given me everything that my heart desires in a concealer. Like, I just love this concealer so much. It's the same shade as my skin tone, the shade Cookie, which is something that I really appreciate, because I'm not gonna lie, before I used to struggle finding concealers that was my exact match, because a lot of them are like too beige or a bit too red, or they're just really white. But this is like the first concealer that I have found that has actually matched me with the right undertone. So yeah, I know you guys are probably sick and tired of me like raving about this product and using it in almost every video, but I'm telling you, this is the best concealer for me and my skin tone, and it gives me the coverage I need. You know, if you're trying to find a new concealer and you haven't tried this one, I don't know what rock you're living under, but definitely give it a go. Give it a try, you will not be disappointed. That's all I am saying. So I'm just going to take a sponge and I'm just going to blend her out. I don't really leave this concealer on for long because I'm not using it for colour, I'm mainly using it for coverage, because when I put on foundation, I don't really put a lot of foundation underneath my eyes, because obviously, you know, I'm going to be doing concealer, then I'm going to be highlighting, so it's just a lot of makeup. And these days, for me to achieve that soft glam look, which is definitely by far my favourite makeup look to do on myself or anyone, less is more. I feel like the more products you use, the more cakey it's gonna get. So I just try to avoid putting a lot of product on my eyes or on my skin, so that, you know, it can look flawless, but it can also look natural as well. Because for a long time I used to struggle between wanting that editorial natural makeup look and wanting a full glam. Like, I was always stuck in the middle because I love both, but I don't want to do both, you know. Like, I don't know, it's like when I put on a lot of makeup, I wish I did it softer, and when I put on a little bit of makeup, I want more coverage. But I'm so happy that this soft glam look has become popular, because this is like the perfect kind of in between for anyone who likes editorial makeup versus, you know, full glam, full coverage, full beat type of makeup as well. To contour my skin, I'm going to take this Sleek Makeup Cream Contour Kit in the shade Dark 097. I've had this for years. As you guys can see, I've hit pan on a lot of the concealer colours, but yeah, I'm going to use it to contour. So I'll mainly use these two shades. I use this one in the summertime, but in the winter when I'm a little bit more pale, I like to stick to these two shades. And I don't put a lot on my skin either, because a little bit goes a long way with this stuff. You really don't need that much. Like, you really don't need that much. So yeah, I just do a little bit. I do it here on my nose because I like my nose to be more turned up. So I put it here and on the tip of my nose as well. I don't really place it like here like I used to, because when I add like my bronzer and stuff, it's going to do that for me, so I don't really do that. And then I just place a little bit on my forehead, just a little bit. I'm now going to take a brush. You guys saw for my concealer I like using sponges. I used to use brushes for my under eye concealer, but I don't know, like, I've really been enjoying using a sponge. I kind of go in between, back and forth, back and forth. It's a love-hate relationship that I have all the time. But for my contour I always use a brush because I get the most precision. So I'm going to take this brush from MORPHE and I'm going to take some fixing spray, and I'm just going to spray my brush. And this is just going to kind of help my brush glide against the makeup smoothly, so I don't get any strokes, I don't get any streaks, and yeah, it's just going to give me like the best finish. I found that when I started doing this, I liked how my contour was coming out way more than I did before. And to blend this out, I just go in circular motions, but I blend it upwards. I don't blend it down because it can drag down my cheek, and my face is round, so I'm going to keep everything in the center. So yeah, I just go in circular motions back and forth, mainly focusing upwards to really push and sculpt my cheek upwards. So I'm just gonna blend upwards and into my temples, just like so. So it's very subtle. It adds a little bit of colour to my skin, a little bit of warmth, without doing the absolute most. For my nose, I'm just gonna go back and forth, but again, back and forth, pushing it kind of upwards. as well. I always push my contour products up regardless of where it is. If you want more precision as well on your nose, feel free to use a smaller brush, but I'm not really fussed. And you can see a little bit of my blemishes, just a little bit. But if I'm honest, I'm not really fussed about it. Like before, I was more obsessed about making sure that you couldn't see any blemish on my skin, but now I just like how it looks even more because it looks even more natural. And I do have freckles, so it's nice to be able to showcase that as well. If you see a little bit of skin and a little bit of imperfections, it kind of helps the makeup look a bit more real. So yeah, go me. Next, I'm gonna go and take the Born This Way concealer by Too Faced again, but this time I'm going to use the shade Warm Beige, and I'm just going to apply this in specific areas because this concealer is really light. It's really light, but I'm going to kind of do this how I've seen it on TikTok. So what they do is they tell you to place just a little bit here, just like that. So just a little bit there and a little bit there. I hope I'm doing this correctly, but just a little bit there and a little bit there. And what this is supposed to do is it's supposed to like lift your eyes and give it that highlighted look without dragging your face down. I'm just going to place her under my eyes and I'm going to start blending. So I'm going to do this really like carefully, just like so, and I'm just going to blend her out and see what we get. Ooh, yeah, I like this. I like this. It's definitely highlighted my face a bit more. I like this. Okay, so on TikTok they also said that when you've reached this step where you've applied everything, you should spray your face, put your powders, and then do your final layer of spray. So yeah, that's what I'm going to do. So I'm going to take the Revolution Pro Fix Illuminating Spray and I'm just going to spritz my face with this really quickly. While this is drying, I'm just going to take my sponge and I'm just going to kind of pounce it in so that it really kind of sets everything. I don't know, I've seen like Jackie Aina do this before, so yeah, I'm just doing it myself. To set my under eyes, because I want to do it now before it creases, I'm going to take my MAC Prep and Prime Transparent Setting Powder, the same one that we used for our eyelids and our brows, and I'm just going to use a MAC brush and I'm going to set my my under eyes in place so that they don't crease and they look flawless. The guy recommends that you use a brush and not a sponge to do this because using a sponge can make it look really dry and really cakey. So I'm going to use a brush and I'm just going to apply a little bit of this powder because I don't really know if this gives me flashback. I do feel like sometimes when I take pictures this can make my under eyes look a little bit drier than they actually are. So I'm trying to like be careful with that and not add too much product to my under eyes, but just enough to set it. So yeah, and also in case it does give me flashback, by adding a little bit I can kind of control it, I guess. So yeah, I'm just going to put a little bit under my eyes and blend it away. I'm going to take a little bit of this as well and place it on my chin, and I'm just going to kind of take a bit more and I'm going to push it into my smile lines. I'm going to go ahead and take my MAC Mineralized Skin Finish Natural in the shade Dark, and I'm just going to use this to bronze up my face. I'm going to take a big MAC brush, this is the 135S, and again I'm going to place this kind of differently to how I would. So usually I would do it like this, but the guy on TikTok also said that you should do it like this, that you should kind of push your bronzer up, because he said that like when you apply a bronzer, I mean when you naturally get hit by the sun, it's more like up here. So I don't know. We're just gonna try it out and see. And then for my nose, I'm just gonna go on top of it like this, trying not to breathe because it's a lot of powder. Okay, so at this point I would apply my blush. This is not a blush, well it's not really supposed to be a blush. This is the Revolution Pro CC Perfecting Pressed Powder. This is in the shade Sand. So I guess this is supposed to be like a, what is CC? I forgot what CC even means, but it's not really a blush. Like, I can't really explain it. I was in Superdrug one day and I wanted to buy a new powder, and I was kind of caught up between getting this one and the translucent one, but something in my heart told me to get this one. And because of COVID and everything like that, you can't swatch anything, you can't open anything, so you kind of just have to guess and hope that your luck pays off, because you can't see it, you can't open it, you can't swatch it. So I picked this up, got in the car, opened it, only to find that it wasn't my skin tone. I don't know why I thought sand would be my skin tone. Nothing in this universe with the label sand on it is my skin tone. When I go for products, I look for stuff that mainly says golden, golden beige, tan, but sand? No way. Nothing that is my skin tone or my complexion is called sand. So I don't know what possessed me to get this, but I picked it up anyway, and it's only when I got in the car that I realised that this is what I have, and I couldn't exactly return it because I had already opened it and swatched it and it just wasn't a good look. So yeah, I'm stuck with it. This is what it looks like. It's not even dark enough to be a contour colour. It's way too red and way too beige to be used for under my eyes. So I use it as a blush, and it works really, really well for me. Surprisingly, like, I actually like this colour a lot as a blush. So I'm just going to use the same method that I did for my bronzer, and I'm just going to kind of place it upwards just to marry the two together. I don't do the whole smile and put it on my cheeks. I don't do that. I just place it upwards and kind of place it into my eyes a little bit. I place it right on top of my nose, so it looks like I'm cold when I'm not really cold. I'm about to be cold when I go outside, but that's not the point. But yeah, I just kind of use this to just warm up my cheeks a bit more, because the bronzer is a little bit orange, it's a little bit golden, whereas this is a bit more like neutral. So it kind of helps to kind of neutralize the bronzer a little bit so it doesn't look so orange. And it adds a little bit of pink to it as well, which is like really nice. So it gives it that coral, pinky coral type of look. And to be fair, I've been wanting to find a blush colour like this anyway. I was always looking at them at MAC, but just never bought one. I don't know why. So yeah, it's kind of like a blessing in disguise that I picked this up, because I love this colour, especially for my skin tone right now, where I'm pale, but I'm not as pale as I should be because we can't go outside, so I'm not really getting that cold experience the way that we typically would. This is just that perfect blush shade for me because it's in between. So yeah, I am happy I picked this up. So this is what it looks like. It's just really subtle, really pretty. The colours marry in really well together. You can't really tell where they start and end, which is the best thing about this look. And I just look and feel really pretty. So yeah, definitely give this method a try and give this a go. Now that the skin is done, I've pretty much applied everything to this skin. Yeah, I have. It's time to move back onto these eyes. Okay, so I'm going to go back into my MORPHE palette. This is a 25D palette, as I mentioned earlier. And I'm just going to take a fluffy brush. This is a MORPHE M412. And I'm going to go back into that Daniel colour, which is this chocolate brown right over here. And I'm just going to kind of darken up everything just a little bit, because where I applied a bit of concealer, it did kind of mute some of the colours when I was blending it out. So just to like redefine it and add some of that colour back, that pigment back, I'm just going to reapply it and blend it out so that it doesn't look crazy. So I'm going to take the shade Carter, which is this colour right here, and I'm just going to place a tiny bit of that under my eyes, just a smidge. And I'm going to use a fluffy brush just to kind of apply that, just to smoke it out so it doesn't look too bare and too plain. This is also like something that I love doing, even if I'm not wearing a lot of like top eyeshadow. I love just bringing colour just a little bit under my eyes, because whenever I wear mascara, I don't know why, but she always bleeds. She's always bleeding, which is why I prefer lash extensions. Yeah, whenever I wear mascara, she always bleeds, and then I end up looking like a zombie, and I have panda eyes, which is crazy. I don't know why, like I really don't understand it. My eyes have always been like that. They've always bled. They're super sensitive to where if I do too much to them, they're not going to be happy with me and they're going to start watering and it's going to ruin the whole side of my makeup. And it usually happens on one side. This side will be nice and seamless and beautiful, and then this side will be all ruined and wet because my eyes was watering. Or if it's not this side, then it's this side. It's always one side, it's never both sides. So yeah, I try not to do the most with my eyes, because I've learned over the years that my eyes just don't like it. Like, they just don't like it, they're not a fan of it, and they never will be. Lashes I'm using today are from Amazon. They don't really have a name, they're just from Amazon. They look really pretty, they're really sultry and wispy, and they're like dramatic but in a nice way. Like they're dramatic enough to where you can wear it every day, but they're not overly dramatic to where it looks crazy. So it's like a natural dramatic. I don't know if that makes any sense, I don't know, but I like them. I'm gonna use some hair glue to apply this to my eyes as well. I used to use Duo lash glue, but yeah, I'm just not really a fan of it anymore. I just don't really like it. I'm just gonna wait for this to dry. I'm gonna apply these to my eyes and then I'll be right back. Okay, so this is what it looks like once you apply the lashes to them. Everything is coming together so well, so pretty. I feel so glamorous. I just feel so beautiful. Oh my god. Listen, if you guys try out this look, I want you to show me. I want you to show me, okay? Because I feel invincible right now. I just feel beautiful. But yeah, now that we've done the lashes, it's time for us to move on to the lips. And then we're basically done with this look. I'm gonna take this NYX Butter lipstick in the shade Tan Lines, one of my favorite nudes for my skin tone. If you want to see a video all about my favorite nudes for my skin tone, let me know. Thumbs up this video, let me know down below. But this is one of my favorite nudes for my skin tone, and I'm just going to apply her to my lips, starting mainly in the center. Because this color is so light, you don't really need to be like mad precise with it, but it does wear off really beautifully, really beautifully. If you do want to add a little bit more definition to your lips, then you definitely can. All you need is a lip liner. I'm going to use Chestnut by MAC. I do prefer using what's the other one, Oak, but I can't find it. I lost everything when I went to uni, so I don't know where it is. But I'm not lining the whole lip, I'm just outlining the outer rim. So I'm just going in here, just like that, just to give the outer parts a bit more dimension, but I'm keeping it the center light. And I'm going in here, blending it in, so you know. Do you see what it's doing? I hope you can see. Okay, last thing I'm gonna do, well, for my lips anyways, I'm gonna take my finger, I'm gonna kiss on it, and I don't know if you guys can see, that's just taking off the excess. So now I'm not gonna worry about it getting on my teeth or anything like that, because it's gone. Last thing I'm gonna do for my face is I'm gonna add some highlighter. I'm gonna take the Sleek Makeup highlighting palette in Cleopatra's Kiss 033. And I'm gonna highlight. I'm gonna take a fluffy brush like this, and I'm gonna add just a little bit here. I don't really put highlighter on my cheekbones like I used to. Before I used to do a lot, but now I'm not really fussed. I just like it to be really subtle, so you can kind of see it, but you can't really tell, you know. So I'm just gonna add a little bit here and a little bit there. I'm gonna add just a little bit above my brows. I'm gonna take the NYX Worth the Hype waterproof mascara, and I don't use a lot of this, if I'm honest, I really don't, but I'm just gonna take a little bit and I'm just gonna put my lashes. I'm not really brushing them, I'm just pressing it into my lashes just to give it a bit of color so it's more black on the lash line. I don't know if you guys can see the difference, but this looks way darker than this side, so I'm just gonna add that to this lash line. I'm gonna apply just a little bit of mascara. I was contemplating on if I wanted to do this, but why not? Why not? Okay, so this is the final look. For perfume today, I am going to be using the Versace Bright Crystal. This is actually a new one in my collection. I got it for Christmas, and I love this scent. So this is the one that I'm going to be using for today. So I'm just going to do a little spritz here, a little spritz, oh, a little spritz there on my hair as well. And just, there we go, that's it. smells so good. But yeah, that is it for the look. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, make sure you give it a like, make sure you thumbs up so I know. If you want me to make more videos like this, let me know as well by liking this video. I love you all so much, and I'll see you in my next one. Bye.